Welcome back, everybody, to the Catch Podcast. To my right, or your left for the viewers, Kenny.
What's up?
And to my left, Patrick.
Morning.
Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit of a lighter subject. There's not going to be much arguing here today. Wholesome content. But we're just going to be covering some recent NFL offseason news. Catch you up to speed if you're not caught up already. Because after all, we are a podcast. So
yeah, I like the pun there with the catch you up to speed.
Oh yeah, I honestly didn't do that on purpose. Like, I'm being 100%. But do either of you guys have a headline that you're just dying to share?
I'll go first. I'll be the first volunteer.
Okay.
One thing that I want to talk about is the annual top 100 players list that seems to always suck. It's always so bad.
Suck, yeah.
But I feel like it's always bad in like the 50, 60, 70 ranges, like where
that is true,
some players are higher than they seem. But once you get down to the top 10, I'm like, you can't screw up too bad. But they did this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me just name some players. Patrick Mahomes. Well, Aaron Donald. I was going to say Aaron Donald, but he's not even in the league. Anyways, Lamar Jackson, reigning MVP. Justin Jefferson, Nick Chubb. Any player that made the playoffs this year. Well, I mean, he did make the playoffs. But what I'm trying to say is there's a million players that could have been number one this year that I think deserve it more than Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill got it over Patrick Mahomes, the greatest QB in the last 5 years, and the reigning MVP in Lamar Jackson, who was amazing. And I would also put a number of quarterbacks above Tyreek Hill. I think C.J. Stroud is more important to the Texans than Tyreek Hill is to the Dolphins. And I think Josh Allen is also way more important to the Bills than Tyreek Hill is to the Dolphins.
I would agree.
I think Tyreek's probably the best wide receiver. Maybe number 2, Justin Jefferson, is up there. But putting him as the bona fide best player is crazy. I would have had T.J. Watt maybe even higher than him. But I just don't understand when you have like players like Christian McCaffrey and then MVP Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, who just went back-to-back, how you can put Tyreek Hill, who, I mean, he was really good last year, but there's got to be some like quarterback value that they're estimating when you do that, and they're putting a wide receiver at number 1, which is crazy.
The thing is, it's voted by the players. That's what I think.
Is it just the players?
Is it? I think it's.
I feel like it might be coaches too.
I know the players have a say in it for the most part, and I think that's what a lot of people don't really understand, is that it's the players that are mostly voting for this.
Yeah, it's not like it's any animal.
I'm not sure. Let me check.
How is the MVP of the league not number 1? That's always something that bothers me. Like, if you're talking about the best player in the league, number 1, it should be the MVP. Lamar's kind of close. I don't know. He didn't have like an MVP caliber season when you compare it to other MVPs of the past.
Yeah, so the players chose Tyreek Hill. He's good. He had an amazing year last year. Don't get me wrong. Amazing. But it's not like this is a regular season award. We are way past the offseason, way past the Super Bowl, and we saw Patrick Mahomes go back-to-back. The last time that happened was Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's the GOAT. This guy's doing stuff that we've never seen, and I think it's no doubt that he should be number 1. And Lamar Jackson won MVP last year, and I don't even know if he's top 5. I think he's like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was trying to look up what number he was last year, but I couldn't find it.
And also, like you were saying, Pat Mahomes, just hasn't done... Well, sorry, Pat Mahomes has done a lot in the playoffs compared to Tyreek Hill.
Compared to everyone in the NFL, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I just realized again that I kind of don't agree with, I mean, the MVP, he's ranked number 2. I was wrong. So that is pretty high. But if he were ranked number 2... the only person I think that should be ranked number 1 above him is Patrick Mahomes.
I would agree
who's
with
not,
that.
which is crazy. But anyways, you guys maybe have something.
I would go to Kenny first.
Who's got the more interesting thing?
I think I got the more the most talked about rumor right now.
Okay.
Brandon Aiyuk. We just had a pod about him a couple weeks ago.
Almost a month ago, probably
really?
at this point.
Mm-hmm. He has narrowed down his teams. The 49ers are giving him a choice. He has narrowed it down to staying with the 49ers or going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I remember one of us said the Steelers. I don't remember which one. Was it?
It was me.
Was it you, Colin?
Because they were the most talked about, and I was.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of common knowledge.
How do we feel about Brandon Aiyuk on the Steelers?
I don't know.
I mean, that receiving core is definitely going to get a lot better. George Pickens, Brandon Aiyuk. Deontay Johnson isn't on the team, so he kind of does take
Roman
place.
Wilson.
He doesn't.
That is
He
true.
takes place of the route runner, wide receiver archetype that they really don't have. They have a deep threat in a slot, but the quarterback situation
that's what
isn't
I'm more
really the
curious
greatest.
about.
I kind of have more
is
confidence.
Is it a downgrade for Brandon Aiyuk?
I was gonna say I have more confidence in the overall offensive scheme and players of the San Francisco 49ers rather than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't see what he would gain
Russell
from that
Wilson
move.
and Justin Fields, but if he does go to the Steelers, maybe in like 2 to 3 years, if he signs a big deal, Justin Fields can like grow into a really good team with a really stacked receiving core.
I think that's what's like kind of
Appealing.
the problem in this is he's gonna get paid on the Steelers.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have a worse or not so sure quarterback situation as you would with.
And
Brock
we know
Purdy.
he definitely does care about like the team level because he could have got traded to the Patriots. They had a contract and a trade set out, and he denied it because he didn't trust the quarterback situation. Steelers QB situation isn't necessarily as bad, but it's still not very good. I'd rather have Brock Purdy.
I just don't see what you gain out of that move other than money. Which, fair enough, you'd be getting
Money
a lot
is
of money.
like
but
the biggest thing.
That is
you're right.
true.
It's just like I don't know.
I feel like the Steelers are really trying to build a good environment for the next.
And he's got a
coming
really good coach.
Yeah.
He's got
That
Mike
is
Tomlin.
true. That
Mike
is
Tomlin
true.
is
And
a
a
great
good
coach.
defense.
Not to say Kyle Shanahan isn't a good coach.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. It's a tricky situation, Colin. What's your
My little news segment? It happens every year, but I'm just gonna be going over the training camp fights for whatever reason.
Have there been any good ones?
There's been a couple
I only saw
actually.
the Malik Neighbors
I
one.
have a few. I have a list of them. So, the Giants and Lions joint practice. Daniel Jones actually started a fight. I saw the clip. He more or less just shoved one of the defenders. I think it was a Lions defender.
really?
And then
And
they
then
came
got his
after
butt
him.
handed to him, probably.
Yeah. Well, they didn't actually end up fighting, but
Well, if
His
they
teammates-
hit the QB back, it was gonna
everybody
crazy
jumped in.
pop off. But
Daniel Jones was out of that quickly, and the rest of his team was fighting that fight. Safe to say that. But later I don't know if it was the same day, but it was the same joint practice. Malik Neighbors threw like 3 punches at a Lions player.
the thing was, no, it's Kirby Joseph.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He walked past Kirby Joseph,
He just
hit him in the
slapped him.
face, and then
Yep.
kept walking, and then
Yeah.
Kirby Joseph like ran up on him. And
I just
And
don't
it
get the
started
point
the
of that.
biggest fight.
You would think grown men, if they're gonna fight, they would do it with helmets off. But if you're gonna punch a helmet, like that's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna
I
ever
kind of
hurt
got used
them.
to it in the NFL, and
That
it
is
definitely
true,
did. But one of the things that I didn't get is, I mean, maybe there was like beef throughout the whole practice because that was like in the middle of the day. But the person that was guarding him was Terrion Arnold, and he threw the ball
Mm-hmm.
incomplete pass, walked past Terrion Arnold, and then basically walked up to the random safety, Kirby Joseph, and
Maybe
hit him
he
in
thought
the
it was
face.
somebody else.
There must have been like something that happened previously in practice to make him do
Probably,
that.
yeah.
There's gotta be.
Because that wasn't even the guy that was
I'm
guarding
sure
him.
the Giants are not happy about that.
No,
to have your rookie already getting in
Oh,
a
yeah.
fight, that is not.
I mean,
good.
they both teams got fined $200K for.
Really?
Yep. both
200K?
Not combined, $200K separate, like
Oh my
each.
god.
Yeah,
Wait,
for
that's
those
crazy.
fights. Recently, I think probably more recently, the Seahawks at their practice. I don't even think it was a joint practice. It was just a Seahawks practice. They had five fights in one day, and DK Metcalf swung his helmet at
DK Metcalf is a
cornerback, I believe, Trey Brown.
bum.
Wow.
But 5 fights in one day is kind of crazy. They said at least 5, so it could have been more than 5.
That's just bad for like morale and just.
I mean,
overall.
some of those players that
And that
probably
means you
were
like
in
got
those
no
fights-
respect for your coach because I'm sure they're well, he's not the coach anymore.
No,
Guy from the Ravens. I forgot his name. Mike.
Seahawks head coach.
What's his name?
Wasn't he the?
McDonald.
Yeah,
I'm not
Whatever.
Mike?
I'm sure he's telling them not to fight and then doing it like over and over
Obsessively.
and over.
Like they're grown
is
men
like
too.
crazy. I mean,
Sometimes-
I get like preseason fights and all that, but 5 plus.
Testosterone, I guess.
Testosterone.
That's what happens when it's hot out, bro. That's why
Okay.
grown
What a-
men. That's
I'm
the only
just,
reason.
I'm
That's
just
a
glad my
crazy
team isn't
statement.
getting into any fights.
I'm sure it happens from now and then. The first one that was reported, just to go through all of them, Derek Stingley versus Dalton Schultz.
That was a good
There was
one.
no punches thrown, I don't think, but I'm pretty sure Derek Stingley did launch himself at Dalton. I don't
Yeah.
really know what occurred there, but just covering all the
I
bases.
typically worry about the people on the same team fighting a lot more.
Yeah,
I feel like
than
that's
a joint
normal.
practice.
And it's really scary, especially when they're like getting really into it, because like pushing and shoving's fine.
Yeah,
but, like,
I mean,
throwing a whole punch at your teammate.
There's nothing wrong with being
Who are we,
competitive.
Colorado?
There's nothing wrong with being competitive with your teammates. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it honestly helps.
All right, so next time we 1v1, I can kick
No.
I'll throw
That's
you
not
to
what
the
I'm
ground.
saying. I'm not saying like throw punches. I'm just saying like I think it's fine up until you start like actually swinging at them. Like if you're just talking
Yeah.
and you're like just building up that atmosphere, I think that's fine. It just makes everything more competitive.
Until you get
Builds
into a
up
real
your
fight.
teammates. Yeah, until you get into a real fight.
Hopefully that stuff stays in the preseason.
It usually does.
That's a very bad sign if it goes into the regular season.
Yeah.
But keeping the trail going with the Giants and Malik Neighbors, they did play their preseason game against the Lions. It was a very crappy game like most preseason games are. But Malik Neighbors, 14, I think it was 14 snaps he played, 0 targets, and was open quite a bit.
Who was throwing? Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones.
Oh,
He was
boy.
not targeted one time. And I know he's a rookie, but he's the best player. He's the best receiver on the team.
I remember there being a clip of him like getting interviewed by Brian Dable for the draft. I don't know if it was Hard Knocks or anything, but Brian Dable asked him, he said, how do you feel about not getting targets? Like, how do you feel about getting open and not getting targets? And he said he did not take it well at all.
Yeah, he said he hated it pretty much.
Yeah, but I think the comment that he this is his quote. Quote, I did a very good job of getting open, but everything has to go my way to get the ball. It was kind of slippery out there. I think I could have done a better job of creating separation, getting better looks for the QB to throw the ball.
Well, at least he's taking accountability.
He took it on the chin and was being kind of a mature player that, personally, I didn't think he was that type of player. I thought he was kind of like crybaby Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
But, it was actually Drew Lock, which... Not Daniel Jones, but I
okay.
also want to say Drew Lock, like, he's a good quarterback. It's not like
Good
he's
enough.
crappy and he's...
Yeah.
And you got the number one guy out there. There's got to be some offensive game planning to get him the ball. Hopefully that changes in the second game. But I will say, if he goes all preseason playing like that, he's going to be pretty pissed off.
That quote you just
Probably.
gave sounds like a completely different person. From
Exactly.
I know.
Just in a fight.
If I'm being real, I think that might be BS from him. I
mean, they're all media
I
trained.
think it's
Someone
probably
just-
bubbling underneath, and then he's going to get
Or
really
someone
frustrated.
could have just like written it for him, something like that.
Well, no, he said it.
like,
he spoke it.
at the press conference.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was wide open. There was like 4 or 5 plays where he was wide open, didn't get the ball. It's funny because on the first professional snap, he ran a route, and probably 2 yards in the route, he threw his hand up for the calling for the ball and everything.
Really?
Oh my
So
God.
hopefully he gets more targets for the Malik Neighbors' sake and the Giants' sake because they don't really have any wide receivers. Also, his number is not going to be number 9. I just learned that.
What is
Really?
it?
I don't know. There's not many options that are open. People are saying 88.
So is it
What?
like the Patriots where like they wait
They have
after
to-
the
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
season?
no, it has. I don't think it has. He
just hasn't
He
made his
picked
decision.
9, and then he was like, I'm trying it out, and he doesn't like it. And all these young studs from like college want to do like single digits. There's no single digits left. There's 12 that's open. And then there's
He
a
could
bunch
always
of...
just buy it
One
off
thing that I want is... Dude, 88 would be fire. Because he wore 8 at LSU, and now he's rocking 88 like CeeDee Lamb. That would be pretty cool.
That
Wouldn't
the
be as
worst thing in
cool
the
as
world.
him getting the ball, but...
Well, since you just said CeeDee Lamb, I will go next.
Okay.
My next topic was about he removed all his Cowboys stuff from the social media, all the posts, all the like banners. I'm not sure about the following versus unfollowing.
happens all the time.
Yeah, but here's the interesting part.
2 weeks, it'll be back.
His banner is now Hollywood Brown, the Cardinals.
Were they on the same team at college?
Yes, they were.
Oklahoma.
But like to just change that while we're moving all of your Cowboys stuff and then putting that there for no particular reason is a little bit sketchy, I think.
I feel like some people read too deep into this stuff sometimes.
Okay, but it would be one thing.
Quinnen Williams did this. Quinnen Williams did this exact thing when he's waiting for a contract. He made it a black banner, took everything Jets off.
Okay, but that's different.
How? CeeDee
Because
Lamb is in the same position. He needs a contract.
It's not a black banner though. He's putting a picture of a player on another team.
I'm telling you right now.
Is it a picture of Marquise
that's-
Brown wearing a Chiefs uniform? Or is it a picture of Marquise Brown wearing an Oklahoma uniform?
I'm not 100% sure.
I'll check the
Oklahoma, it's not
the
that
Twitter, but what I'm saying is that's just like a tactic to get
Yeah, it really is. You see people do it
it's
all the
both
time.
of them in their college jerseys.
Exactly.
Okay.
Chill out, bro.
It's fine.
That's
a very interesting situation in its own, though. The Cowboys
don't want to pay him.
One thing that was kind of silly is Jerry Jones. They were like asking him about, do you think it's a priority to re-sign CeeDee Lamb right now? And he goes, no. He said no, like we're not focusing on it.
I saw that. It's like now a meme.
And then CeeDee Lamb replied to it and just said LOL. So maybe there's some like subtle things going on between them, but he's top 3 in the league.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Aiyuk, he's top 10, and it's taken forever for him to get even close to traded. It's going to take even longer for CeeDee Lamb to leave, especially with Dak Prescott, who was amazing last year.
And Brandon Aiyuk is getting such good PR from this. Like, everyone's talking about him like he's a top 5 wide receiver, which he has a potential to be.
Yeah, he's close.
He's getting there. But CeeDee Lamb's on another level compared to Brandon Aiyuk, in my opinion.
That is true.
But I will move over back to the preseason. We just watched this game Saturday. Caleb Williams made his debut as a Chicago Bear, and it was nothing short of special.
He looked really good.
He did look amazing. Very good. I'm a Bills fan, so I didn't get to watch the game live. I saw some clips, and wow. He was tearing our defense apart. Granted, I don't think we had every starter out there, and it is the preseason, so you do kind of have to take some things like a grain of salt. Like, remember Kenny Pickett during the preseason last year? He was unbeatable. The Pittsburgh Steelers went undefeated. Kenny Pickett, I don't think, threw an interception. And everyone was freaking out saying, oh, he's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year.
That's definitely crazy to say that. And I don't think people are saying Caleb Williams is going to be a top 10 quarterback.
Oh, yes, wait,
let me finish.
Okay.
I said I don't think they're saying he's going to be a top 10 quarterback just based off preseason performance. I think they've been saying it since he was drafted number 1 overall.
That's kind of.
And I would be lying if I thought they were like crazy. It could happen. He could be top 12 easily.
Especially in that offense.
Amazing, but I'm not going to say anything crazy. Also, just to go back to your thing, Hollywood Brown also did change his background. So if he went to the Chiefs, I would probably jump off a bridge, but,
I would actually be so mad if that happened.
I just
wish we saw more of Caleb Williams. Like, seeing him play 2 drives, I just want to see him
That's
play
just
more.
what it is with preseason.
I
like,
know.
watching anybody that's got, like, the Jets, they took out 29 players today. They didn't play 29 players. I was so pissed off. But, I don't want Aaron Rodgers to break himself again. So
That's fair, yeah. I honestly wish the best for Caleb Williams. I think he looked amazing, and I kind of like him as a player.
Also talking about the rookie quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, he looked pretty good today.
Oh, yeah.
He played.
And J.J. McCarthy.
Oh my!
I did not watch J.J. McCarthy.
He threw 2 touchdowns.
He did?
Yeah, 2 deep ball touchdowns, I believe.
Moving the topic a little bit, Sam Darnold is listed as the QB1 of that team.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's
expected.
And I made that prediction during, 2 months ago. You guys laughed at me. You guys have laughed at me.
Making this stuff.
You guys have laughed at me about J.J. McCarthy.
Maybe this is a hostile
you thought
podcast.
Sam Darnold was going to be the starter, but then you think J.J. McCarthy is going to be, amazing?
Yeah, you guys you have to pick one or the other.
They're developing J.J. McCarthy behind Sam Darnold.
So you're saying it's
just
Jordan
taking
Love
both
model.
sides, so either way, you're right.
No, they're not going to do a Jordan Love model. Sam Darnold isn't good enough for that, but I think Sam Darnold is going to give the Vikings a good opportunity to maybe make the playoffs this year. Why did everyone go silent?
Just because there's crickets in the background.
Is there a problem with that?
There's kind of a problem.
Something to say, I guess.
I don't think there's anything.
Always gotta say some outlandish. All right.
It's for the clicks.
So I'll go. I'll talk about.
I think we have room for one more.
All right.
News topic.
One more.
Which
one
one
total
or
one total?
One total. Which
you want
one?
it or you want it? Or
I don't.
You
even
want it? Or should I take it?
How interesting is yours?
Mine is about a rookie.
Yours is
so
about
is mine.
Yours is about the Jets, though.
Yes. Well,
and he's not like a first rounder.
Exactly, which makes it more interesting.
Who's your guy?
It's about the Patriots.
Oh, to be honest, I forgot mine. So.
Well, here we go. I guess.
Oh my God.
How about you both just read off the?
I can do mine really quick.
Okay. Go ahead.
Braylon Allen had 6 carries for 60 yards. He looked amazing. This man, I think every single time he got tackled, it was like a tiny ankle tackle. Every time he was head on with a player, I mean, Emmanuel Forbes is quite small, but he trucked
I saw a clip of him.
Can't say that word, but he destroyed him. This man is 6'2", 240, Braylon Allen's going to be the second best running back on the team. And he had some of the best pass pro reps I've seen, better than Breece Hall.
Mine is also about a rookie. We talked about the Patriots quarterback situation earlier when we were talking about Brandon Aiyuk. Brandon Aiyuk didn't want to go there because...
You're talking about Joe Milton?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Brandon Aiyuk didn't want to go there because
Overrated.
of, like... Let me finish my story. But he didn't want to go there because of the quarterbacks and more, obviously, but I'm just looping it together. And now people are calling for Joe Milton to be the starting quarterback because he had a good preseason highlight reel and because, I don't know, the Drake May hate is real. I don't know why, but...
What do you think about Joe Milton? That's what I want to know. You're bringing it up like you're just straight up the news, no opinion whatsoever. What do you think about Joe Milton?
Well, that's kind of what this was supposed to be about, but what I think...
All right, we're turning the teleprompter off for you, Colin. Come on, go off the grid.
No teleprompter?
What do you think about Joe Milton, Colin?
I think he had one good year in college, which, good for him. I think he has an absolute cannon, good for him. But I don't think he's an NFL starting quarterback, especially when he just drafted Drake May to that same team. Very high in the draft. He's very clearly their starter. I don't see why there's any doubt about that.
I mean, Patriots fans are stupid, but I don't think
it's
they're that
spoiled.
Stupid. There's not one person in that comment section that genuinely thinks Joe Milton should start, they're above the age of 20 or above the age of 15. Actually, it's crazy to say that Joe Milton, he could be something, but he's not something right
He
now.
could be a good backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He has a very talented arm. He's very athletic. He just doesn't have that.
He doesn't have
that NFL.
He can't put it all together.
Yeah,
at
I
once.
think that's his issue.
Drake May's the guy. Hopefully, I mean,
not hopefully for either of you.
I would love it if
if
he was a bust.
I'd love it if they both were. But
well,
if Drake May's gonna be a bust, then Joe Milton will play, and if Joe Milton is good, I'm more scared of Joe Milton being good than Drake May being good.
Why?
Is that a crazy statement?
Probably.
I think so.
Because of that arm, he's so athletic.
Drake May
is very athletic.
Drake May's amazing.
But Joe Milton, I feel like, has more raw
potential.
I'd say.
Okay.
Just because of his traits, I guess you could say that.
If the Patriots could choose which one to be good, I think they would all choose Joe Milton.
I think I see what you mean there.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's going to happen, though, by any stretch of the imagination.
I don't think it will. Are we ready for 0 to Hero?
I am.
All right.
Now it is time for 0 to Hero. Do we have any volunteers to start us off?
You got it.
Oh, okay. That's a first. The host actually gets to say his. We're obviously starting with zeros. I'm going to start with the United States Olympic 4x100 relay team. That Noah Lyles was going to be
men's?
in. Men's. Yeah, sorry, I didn't clarify.
When you put this in the group chat, I thought you were talking about the women's, and I was going to... Oh, man. Okay.
No, I was talking about the men's. Noah Lyles...
You're going to, dig on him or something?
No, I was going to do the women's 4x4, who just won.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's kind of funny.
Because they broke American record. But anyways.
Anyway, one of the fastest runners in the world, if not the fastest, dropped out from that team. So he was no longer available, and due to some bad, and by bad I mean horrible, handoffs, they got 7th place, I think, or something crazy like that. They haven't medaled in that event in I think 20 years.
Yeah, the issue was the first leg. You coming out onto that turn, he just completely missed the handoff entirely.
No, I think didn't the second guy start late? He started running late.
He might have started late. Either way, that
it was
whole
Kenny
sequence,
Bednarek or whatever his
the
name
whole
is.
sequence was not good.
Oh yeah,
the handoff.
For sure.
That's what really sold. When I watched it, the last leg we had, if we had a solid handoff, I think we could have had first. The last leg was perfect.
Every single one of those runners is
they're
very, very good. We could have easily gotten silver, bronze, even gold potentially, especially if Noah Lyles was there. But that didn't happen. We got 7th place somehow.
And if you know the history of the 4x1 for the U.S. men's team, it's been awful.
Well, yeah, I mean that's pretty clear.
The handoffs have screwed us. We've gotten DQ'd multiple times.
Hey, the women pulled through though.
Yep, go women.
Sydney McLaughlin went crazy. This isn't my thing. I just want to talk about this because I did watch it. So it was close to super close to first leg with Netherlands, who has the world champ, and then Sydney McLaughlin got it. Literally, they had to zoom the camera out 8 frames because of how far ahead she was.
That was funny.
But anyways, Kenny, you wanna
I'll go to my loser.
Zero.
Zero. Sorry, I'm gonna be completely honest. Didn't do much research.
Wow.
Saw TikTok clips.
Wow.
I've just seen a lot of Olympic divers absolutely failing. Like they've been landing on their back. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was a Philippine diver. Am I saying that right? Philippine?
Yeah.
Filipino?
Filipino.
I saw him diving. He did like 4 flips in the air, landed straight on his back.
That's gotta hurt, first of all.
Got a 0. I've seen that for maybe like 3 countries.
You gotta feel bad for those guys, though, because they train like their whole lives to do that, and then it's just all gone in an instant.
Yeah.
And diving is insanely hard.
Oh,
very hard.
Like, Pat would know.
Very coordinated.
I wouldn't know.
Pat wouldn't
I
necessarily
wouldn't know.
No.
I wouldn't.
I guess I'm wrong.
Anyways, time for my 0. Sadly, it's actually nothing that you guys can see, but it's some of the most horrific uniforms that I have ever seen. Illinois football, the Fighting Illini released their 1924 throwback unis that are quite ugly. If you guys are looking at them right, yeah. So their helmet looks like it's supposed to be like wooden. It's supposed to look like it's wood, but it looks just like painted on, and it looks terrible. And then the blue jerseys are blue on the top, and then have on the bottom are yellow or orange stripes. I guess it matches is the only thing I can say, but it looks awful. Hopefully they never wear these ever again. And I think everyone's gonna suck in these uniforms because these uniforms do suck. But let's be real.
You know what they say? Play good. Wait, no. Look good, play good.
Look terrible, play terrible.
If you're gonna make new uniforms in college, especially, just go with the all black.
Exactly.
All
or
black
white
is
out, blackout.
Whiteout's my favorite. Anyways, I'm gonna hit a back-to-back just real quick.
Okay.
My hero of the week, Novak Djokovic.
There you go.
I don't know. I actually think
tennis player.
Djokovic.
Yes. No, I definitely did mispronounce
Novak
that.
Djokovic.
He beat number 3 in the world, Carlos Alcaraz, who's probably, he's number 3, but he's probably the best player. He's only 21 years old.
Wow.
And previously, they just faced each other in the Wimbledon final, where Alcaraz did beat Novak. I believe it was in 4 sets or 5. I'm not sure. But in this one, it only took 2 sets, as he won 7-5 and then 7-6, and became the 4th player in tennis history to become a Golden Grand Slam champion, which is gold medal, Roland Garros, the 4 majors, Roland Garros, Wimbledon, US Open, Australian Open. So he's won that and the gold medal. And he's the oldest person to ever win a gold medal for tennis, which is crazy. Which probably cements himself as the best ever. He definitely was before, but a gold medal makes it even
definitely
crazier.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee that Alcaraz is probably going to win one in the next Olympics. In America.
Well, Colin,
My
you
turn?
or me?
Oh, I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
My hero, kind of the obvious one. Everyone in America's hero, I hope. Stephen Wardell Curry. Just everyone was waiting for him to be on the Olympic stage, see what he could do, and he did not disappoint whatsoever. He had the second highest for any men's player on the U.S. team. Carmelo Anthony had 37 at one point in a game. Steph had 36. He had 9 3-pointers. Just absolutely everything you would expect from Steph on this stage and more. I'm pretty sure the balls are smaller, aren't they?
Yeah, and the 3-point line.
Exactly. It was bound to happen at some point. Some would say he didn't show up to Paris until 3 days ago. But he showed up when it mattered, and he's now a gold medalist. So good for him.
One thing that's really off topic, but if you watch the basketball game, you would notice that Noah Eagle is a commentator, son of Ian Eagle.
Yeah.
He's very
He
good.
sounds so much like his father.
He's very
sometimes.
good, but the one thing I do notice is he uses the same certain words, LeBron James did a behind the back pass and he said razzle dazzle. That's the same thing Ian Eagle says. Or I guess broadcasters do say that, but he sounds the same and he says the same stuff, so I kind of got it confused. Don't get me wrong, great commentator.
He has some good, interesting catchphrases. Like he says "Lay Captain America" a lot for LeBron. He made a "cloudy with a chance of meatballs" reference for Steph Curry when he hit his 3rd 3.
I didn't.
We can tell he's younger.
Yeah,
that's for
he
sure.
makes a lot of references.
Hey, don't be a hater.
I'm not being a hater.
I like him. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna take it any more off topic than it already was.
All right, good
Noah
idea.
Eagle. Now I want to.
All right, whatever.
Noah Eagle and D Wade.
Here we go.
I don't. They did not have good chemistry in the box at all. It was awful.
What are we even talking about? Right now?
You really don't think so?
No, there would just be like 10 minutes, or not 10 minutes, 10 seconds of silence.
That's
need
okay
that
Maybe,
sometimes.
maybe it's just Dwayne Wade.
All
is
right,
kind of
get
awkward.
to your hero. This is crazy.
Okay.
This is rubbish.
Okay. My hero, staying with the Olympics, both men's and women's 4x4 teams. The women's team, I believe, broke the Olympic record, which is insane.
The ones that raced today.
Yep.
Yeah.
They broke the American record.
And the men's 4x4 team with 16-year-old Quincy Wilson.
I thought he was the alternate. He was the
No,
alternate.
he was in it.
He didn't race. He was the alternate.
He was all.
Yeah.
He was the
Are you
all.
sure?
Yeah,
No,
he
he
was cheering-
raced.
No, he didn't.
Really?
I'm so sure Quincy Wilson was the alt.
I know he ran in the heat.
I'm Quincy Wilson.
Wow. Well,
All.
either way,
400.
our track team
He's right.
has been insane.
Who's he?
You?
You.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Our
He didn't
track
race.
team has been absolutely
But guess
insane.
what? He still gets a gold medal, which is insane.
Damn right. Just like Tyrese Halliburton. Did you see what Tyrese Halliburton
Yeah.
said? That was
Yeah,
funny.
that was
That was
hilarious.
It's just great to see that U.S.
I
is
love the
staying
Olympics.
dominant. Our track team is so
I know.
good.
I was gonna pull back up to high school wearing a gold medal. Isn't that like the
That's
best
so
thing
tough.
ever?
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, Colin, it is your pod.
I did it last time though.
It's
Whoa.
your pot. Well, you're doing it again.
All
doing it
right,
again,
here we go.
Colin.
Sign me
Close
up,
it
I
off.
guess. Thank you everybody for watching,
And
and
We,
will
catch.
you.
on.
That was really
Yeah, that was cringy. We will catch you on the next one, folks.
Oh.